The ancient year-old secret of the two words that create abundance. Have you ever wondered why some people, even without apparent material wealth, seem to live surrounded by opportunities, abundance, and constant miracles, while others, however hard-working, remain trapped in the cycle of scarcity? Since ancient times, sages, monks, kings, and even merchants of great empires knew something the modern world has forgotten. The power contained in two simple words, yet capable of moving mountains and transforming destinies. These two words were used as secret mantras, transmitted only from master to disciple, and hidden in sacred texts, papyri, and forgotten scriptures. Today, you are about to rediscover this ancient secret, and believe me, if you stay with me until the end of this video, you will never see abundance the same way again. Imagine that your every thought, every emotion, were like an invisible key that opens doors to prosperity or scarcity. Which would you choose? Within the first few minutes, you'll have the answer. And by the end of this video, you'll hold in your hands the formula that has spanned centuries, preserved by men and women who knew that abundance isn't a coincidence, but a frequency that can be activated. Before we continue, take this moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it. Because what you'll learn here can transform not only your life, but also the lives of those you love. Now take a deep breath, close your eyes for a moment, and allow yourself to immerse yourself in this ancient spiritual journey, for you're about to discover the two words that create abundance. The secret begins with something so simple that the rational mind tends to reject it. Great truths are like this, hidden in plain sight, but invisible to eyes that seek complication. In ancient Egypt, during initiation rituals, the initiate was taken to a dark room surrounded by symbols of gold and precious stones and given a teaching. Everything you possess begins with what you say. Sound is vibration, and vibration is energy. When you speak certain words, you don't just move the air, you move the invisible particles that construct reality. The two words you're about to learn have crossed generations because they align your mind and heart with the creative source. But before revealing them, you need to understand, abundance doesn't just mean money. Abundance is health, prosperous relationships, joy, peace, creativity, vital energy. If you ask only for money, you'll receive meaningless bills. But if you activate abundance, you'll have a full life, and money will be just a natural consequence. The masters have always taught that the first step to receiving is being, and being begins with what you declare. How many times a day do you repeat phrases like, "I don't have it, I can't, it's hard"? These phrases are orders you give to the universe, and it obediently simply confirms them. Therefore, the wise have preserved two words that completely reverse this flow. When spoken with true intention, they open portals of possibility and magnetize everything that seemed unattainable. Now I want you to think, what would happen in your life if starting today, every cell in your body aligned with a declaration of power? Have you ever experienced something similar? Write in the comments. I want to hear your experience, because in this video, you'll learn how to transform your vibration into a magnet for miracles. Throughout history, men who changed the course of nations understood this secret. Kings used both words in their decrees, believing they strengthened their empires. Monks in distant caves repeated them silently, imbuing their minds and spirits with the energy of prosperity. And even merchants, opening their shops at dawn, murmured these words, believing they would attract customers and opportunities. They worked because they created a direct bridge between the invisible and the material. Have you ever noticed that when you're confident and clear-headed, doors seem to open naturally, and that on the days you wake up complaining everything goes wrong? This isn't coincidence, it's law. The word is vibration, and vibration creates reality. This is where many go wrong. They believe they need to work harder, suffer more, struggle more to achieve something. But the ancients knew that true strength lies in aligning with the flow, not fighting it. When you consciously pronounce these two words, you are declaring to the universe that you are already in harmony with abundance. It's as if to say, I already possess, I already am, I already receive. But be careful. It's not about repeating them mechanically like a parrot without emotion. The secret lies in deeply feeling what these words mean. It's like lighting an inner flame. Each time you say them, you're programming your subconscious to accept abundance as natural. And when the subconscious accepts, the external world obeys. Imagine, for example, a farmer in the desert. He might complain about the drought, curse the sun, and hope for rain to fall by chance. Or he might use both words as a daily ritual, planting with faith, believing the harvest will come, even without immediate signs. The second farmer, by vibrating at this frequency, attracts unexpected solutions. Perhaps a neighbor will help him, perhaps a spring of water will appear, perhaps his crops will miraculously survive. This is abundance, not a random miracle, but the reflection of what you believe and declare. And here's an important revelation. These two words don't just work for money. They work for love, health, and inner peace. Spiritual masters said they were like a universal password, capable of opening any door. Therefore, tradition kept them secret, knowing that if they fell into unprepared hands, they could be used selfishly. Now get ready, because starting in the next part, we'll get closer to the moment when the veil lifts. You'll discover what these two words are and, more importantly, how to use them so that abundance never leaves your life. Before revealing these two words, you need to understand why so many people live without abundance, even though they desire it so much. The error lies in how they communicate with the universe. Most live in scarcity mode, always focused on what's missing. They say, I want more money, I need health, I'm waiting for love. But by speaking this way, they reinforce what they don't yet have, and the universe responds by confirming precisely this absence. That's why the wise men hid the secret in two words that don't ask, don't implore, and don't complain. They affirm, they declare, they already carry certainty. These two words, when spoken with faith, act as a key that activates the subconscious. Instead of asking, you assume the role of creator. Instead of waiting, you decree. Their power lies not only in their sound, but in what they provoke within you. And that is why, in various spiritual traditions, these words appear in disguise. In the mantras of the East, in the Psalms of the Bible, in the prayers of ancient peoples, the same principle has always been present. The word is creative. Now imagine for a moment. You wake up in the morning, take a deep breath, look up at the sky, and pronounce these two words. You feel as if you're enveloped by a golden energy, as if an invisible force is opening paths around you. You leave the house and, without realizing it, you attract unexpected encounters, opportunities that seemed unlikely, ideas that arise at just the right moment, all because your vibration has changed. The two words are simple. I am. This is the age-old password. When you say I am, you're not just describing something, you're declaring your identity to the universe. I am abundant. I am prosperous. I am healthy. I am loved. Each time you say it, you create a frequency that shapes reality. Understand how saying I am is different from saying I want. Wanting keeps the object distant. I am brings it into the present. Wanting keeps you a beggar. I am places you as an heir to abundance. This is the difference that transforms destinies. But be careful. If you say, I am poor, I am unlucky, or I am sick, the effect also occurs. The universe doesn't distinguish whether it's positive or negative. It simply confirms it. That's why the masters insisted, choose wisely what you attach to I am. For what follows these words becomes your reality. In the next part, I will show you how to use the I am in simple yet extremely powerful daily practices that will begin to reprogram your mind and attract abundance in all areas. Now that you know the two secret words, it's time to learn how to use them as a practical tool to attract abundance. Knowing the secret without applying it is like having a golden key hidden in a drawer. The treasure remains locked. So, let's get practical. The first practice is the morning declaration. As soon as you wake up, before picking up your phone or thinking about the day's problems, sit in bed, close your eyes, and declare in a firm voice, I am abundance. I am prosperity. I am health. I am joy. Repeat 3 times, feeling each word vibrate within you. Imagine every cell in your body illuminated by a golden light, accepting this truth as natural. This prepares your mind to start the day attuned to abundance. The second practice is emotional visualization. For a few minutes a day, close your eyes and visualize the reality you desire, always beginning with I am. If you desire wealth, visualize yourself living in abundance and declare, I am prosperous. If you desire health, visualize yourself full of energy and say, I am healthy. The key here is to feel as if it were already reality. The subconscious doesn't distinguish between imagination and fact. It simply records the emotion associated with the words. The third practice is immediate correction. Often without realizing it, we say negative things. I'm forgetful. I'm unlucky. I'm unhappy. If this happens, don't blame yourself. Just correct it immediately. Instantly replace it with something positive. I am wise. I am blessed. I am victorious. This constant exchange trains your mind to no longer accept decrees of scarcity. The fourth practice is anticipatory gratitude. Instead of waiting for something to happen to give thanks, declare in advance, I am grateful because I have already received. When you do this, you vibrate as if you have already achieved something, and the universe responds by bringing circumstances that confirm this vibration. These simple practices, done consistently, reprogram your energy field. Over time, you'll notice subtle changes, more friendly people around you, unexpected opportunities, solutions that arise from where you least expect them. This is a reflection of the vibration you emit with the power of I am. And remember, abundance isn't just about money. When you declare I am abundant, you're attracting a life full of abundance in every aspect. Inner peace, true love, vital energy, and of course, financial prosperity. In the next section, I'll show you real and symbolic stories of how the I am has transformed lives throughout history, from spiritual leaders to ordinary people who decided to change their words and, as a result, change their reality. The best way to understand the power of the I am is to see how it has transformed the lives of so many people throughout history. One example is found in biblical texts. When Moses asked God what his name was, the answer was clear and eternal. I am. There was nothing beyond that. This declaration represents absolute presence, the certainty of existence, the creative energy that does not depend on external conditions. Since then, spiritual masters have understood that the I am is more than words. It is the affirmation of the divine essence within every human being. In modern times, there are accounts of people who have changed their entire destinies simply by applying this principle. A woman facing bankruptcy began repeating in front of the mirror every day, I am prosperous. I am abundant. I am rich in ideas and opportunities. At first, it seemed like a lie. She didn't fully believe it herself, but she kept at it. Over time, she began to feel more confident, had the courage to start over, and opportunities arose from unexpected places. In less than a year, she rebuilt her financial life and attributed everything to the power of I am. Another case involves a man diagnosed with a serious illness. He decided to combine medical treatment with declarations of faith. Every morning he declared, I am healthy, I am energy. I am healing in manifestation. Gradually, his body responded. His mind grew stronger, his faith grew, and the doctors were amazed at his recovery. He understood that by making these declarations, he was sending orders to his subconscious and activating the self-healing power that already existed within him. Even ordinary people who have never heard of philosophy or spirituality report changes when they replace negative phrases with conscious affirmations. Think of someone who constantly repeats, "I am unlucky." Naturally, their life will be marked by misfortune. But when they decide to change and start saying, "I am blessed," their reality slowly transforms. It's like changing the lenses through which they see the world. Everything around them takes on a new color. These examples show that I am is not just theory, but living practice. It works because it accesses the universal language of energy, a language independent of religion, culture, or historical time. When you declare "I am," you are connecting to the source of creation, and everything begins to align to confirm what you affirmed. And here's a key detail. It's not enough to repeat for a few days and then give up. The ancients called this process vibrational persistence. Consistency is what takes root in the subconscious. Each time you repeat, you're watering the seed of abundance. And like any seed, it needs time to germinate. In the next part, we will delve deeper into how to maintain this constancy, even in the face of difficulties, and how to transform the "I am" into a lifestyle that continually attracts abundance. One of the greatest challenges for those who discover the power of the "I am" is maintaining constancy, even in the face of difficulties. Life always tests us. And in these moments, it's easy to fall back into the habit of complaining, doubting, or repeating negative statements. But it's precisely in these times that the power of the "I am" must be strongest. The wise said, "The mouth that speaks in the desert reaps in the oasis." This means that when everything around you seems scarce, that's when you need to affirm abundance with even greater conviction. To maintain consistency, create daily rituals. One of them is the mirror of truth. Every morning, look directly into your eyes in the mirror and declare out loud, "I am abundant. I am prosperous. I am healthy. I am loved." It may feel strange at first, but over time, you'll feel your soul responding. This exercise breaks down internal resistance and teaches your mind to accept the new identity you're establishing. Another powerful ritual is the "I am" notebook. Set aside a notebook just for daily writing down the phrases you wish to manifest. For example, "I am surrounded by opportunities." "I am an inexhaustible source of creativity." "I am pure and healthy energy." Writing reinforces the power of words and imprints them even more deeply on the subconscious. But you need to be aware of one thing. External reality may take time to align with your new vibration. During this time, you'll be tempted to give up. An overdue bill, bad news, someone's criticism, all of these can shake your faith. This is where true practice comes in, remaining firm in the "I am," even when the world screams otherwise. This is faith in action. It's declaring "I am abundance" when your pockets are empty. It's saying "I am healthy" when your body still feels pain. It's affirming "I am loved" when you feel alone. Every time you maintain your declaration despite the circumstances, you are proving to the universe that your faith is greater than appearance. And the universe responds to that faith. Remember, first you declare, then you feel, and finally you see. The cycle is never the other way around. Those who wait to see first and only then believe will never activate abundance. In the next section, I will show the connection between the "I am" and the teachings of spiritual masters and philosophers who, throughout history, have proven that the verb not only describes reality, but creates it. To understand the grandeur of the "I am," It's important to observe how it appears in the teachings of spiritual masters and philosophers throughout history. Since ancient times, thinkers have understood that words shape reality. In Greek philosophy, Socrates and Plato already spoke about the importance of knowing oneself, and knowing oneself is directly linked to who one declares oneself to be. When someone says, "I am," they are defining their own identity before the world. Aristotle stated that a human being is what they constantly repeat. If we bring this to the present, we can say, "You are what you link to your I am." In the East, sacred mantras always contain the idea of presence and identity with the divine. Hindu masters taught that the sound Soham means "I am he" or "I am the divine." This was a reminder that each person carries within themselves the creative spark. In biblical texts, the power of the I am is even clearer. Jesus frequently declared, "I am the light of the world. I am the way, the truth, and the life." He didn't say, "I want to be" or "I will be." He affirmed with absolute certainty what he already was. And these declarations, filled with faith, transformed the reality around him. The sick were healed, miracles occurred, multitudes were fed. This wasn't magic, but a demonstration of the creative power of the word. Even in more recent times, thinkers like Ralph Waldo Emerson and Neville Goddard have insisted on the same truth. What you declare about yourself becomes your reality. Neville said that the I am is the name of God in each person, and that whatever you add to it manifests in your life. When we analyze history, we realize that the great masters didn't keep this secret to themselves, but always taught it in symbolic forms. They knew that not everyone was ready to understand the depths of the I am. But you are hearing this now because your time has come. It's no coincidence that these words are reaching you today. And here's something that goes even further. I am isn't just a phrase, it's a frequency. When you declare it, you're vibrating at a specific frequency. If the frequency is abundance, abundance will come. If it's scarcity, scarcity will come. Therefore, the responsibility is yours. You hold in your hands a key that can open the doors to paradise or to hardship. The choice will always lie in what you decide to say. In the next section, we will talk about how to use the I am, not only individually, but in conjunction with other people, creating a powerful chain capable of multiplying abundance on a collective scale. So far, we've talked about the power of I am applied individually, but there's an even more powerful dimension when several people come together and declare it together. The ancients called this a vibrational chain. In many cultures, gatherings took place in temples, squares, and even homes, where everyone gathered to repeat affirmations of prosperity, health, and peace. When one person declares, "I am abundant," it creates a wave of energy. Now, imagine dozens or hundreds of people declaring at the same time. The vibration multiplies, echoing like a sound that penetrates the invisible and shapes collective reality. You may have noticed this in prayer groups, collective meditations, or even positive demonstrations. The environment seems to carry an extra force, as if it were impossible to leave without feeling stronger. This happens because energy builds. Each I am statement strengthens the other, creating an invisible network that supports all participants. Want a practical example? A small community in financial crisis decided, instead of complaining, to gather every Sunday. In a circle, each person would affirm, "I am prosperity, I am health, I am blessed." At first, it seemed merely symbolic. But over time, local businesses began to thrive, new job opportunities emerged, and even outsiders began bringing investment to the area. This collective transformation didn't happen by chance. It was the result of the union of voices who believed in the same decree. You can also apply this to your life. Gather friends, family, or co-workers and propose a simple practice. For a few minutes, everyone together declare positive phrases beginning with I am. It's quick, costs nothing, and creates a profound impact. Even in virtual meetings, over the internet, this power works. Because energy knows no physical barriers, it only responds to the vibration emitted. And there's an important detail. When you declare I am in a group, your own faith grows. Even if you're unsure, the energy of others supports your declaration until it strengthens within you. It's as if everyone lends a bit of their own conviction to create a wave of abundance that benefits each participant. This is the power of collectivity. If you alone can change your life with the I am, imagine what can happen when multiple voices unite in a single decree. In the next part, we'll talk about the greatest enemy of the I am, doubt. I'll show you how to identify and neutralize sabotaging thoughts that nullify the energy of your statements. If I am is the key to creating abundance, doubt is the lock that can prevent the door from opening. There's no point in uttering powerful phrases if, within you, doubt silently corrodes every word. That's why the masters have always warned, the enemy is not outside, but within the mind. Doubt acts like a disruption in the electrical current. Imagine you're sending energy to the universe with your declarations. Each I am is like a luminous spark. But if you immediately think, does this really work? I think this is nonsense. That spark goes out. The subconscious receives contradictory signals and can't register the new reality. So how do you overcome doubt? The first step is to observe your thoughts. Become aware of what goes through your mind throughout the day. Whenever you notice negative or disbelieving phrases, don't fight them. Just immediately replace them with a new, empowering statement. If the thought, "it won't work," arises, respond, "I am success manifesting." If you think, "I have no luck," declare, "I am blessed in every way." The second step is to nourish your faith daily. Faith isn't something you either have or don't have. It's a muscle that needs to be exercised. Read inspiring texts, meditate, and be grateful for small achievements. The more you nourish yourself with positive examples, the less room there is for doubt. The third step is to act in alignment. The I am doesn't work with words alone. It needs to be in tune with your actions. If you declare I am healthy but maintain habits that destroy your health, the mind doesn't believe it. If you say I am prosperous, but sabotage yourself with poor financial decisions, the subconscious enters into conflict. It is when action confirms the word that doubt disappears and faith is strengthened. Finally, remember, doubt is not an invincible enemy. It only has power as long as you feed it. Every time you resist the temptation to disbelieve, you weaken the doubt. Every time you reaffirm with conviction, you strengthen the I am. And here's the final secret to neutralizing doubt: gratitude in the present. Being grateful for what hasn't yet manifested is proof that you believe before you see. Doubt can't resist gratitude. When you declare, I am grateful because I have already received, even if nothing has changed yet, you create a shield against any mental sabotage. In the next part, we will reveal how to transform the I am into an ongoing lifestyle, something so natural that your vibration of abundance will never be lost again. For the I am to truly transform your life, it needs to stop being just a one-off practice and become a lifestyle. Abundance isn't something you activate once in a while, but a permanent state of being. When this happens, you no longer need to struggle to believe it, because the belief has already become part of who you are. The first step to transforming I am into a lifestyle is consistency. It doesn't matter if you're happy or sad, whether it's Monday or Sunday. I am must always be on your lips and in your heart. Make it an unbreakable habit, like breathing. Say your affirmations in traffic, in the shower, at work, silently or out loud. The more natural it becomes, the deeper the transformation. The second step is coherence. There's no point in declaring abundance while simultaneously cultivating attitudes of scarcity. If you say, "I am prosperous," but spend your time complaining, you're creating a vibrational conflict. Coherence happens when your words, thoughts, and actions move in the same direction. It's when you declare, "I am healthy," and choose to eat better. When you say, "I am abundant," and lovingly care for what you already have. The third step is to spread abundance. When you help others realize the power of "I am," you further strengthen your own practice. Share positive words. Encourage friends and family to change the way they talk about themselves. Every time you inspire someone to say good things, your own energy grows. Finally, the fourth step is to live in constant gratitude. Transform every situation, good or challenging, into a reason to be thankful. Gratitude is the fertile soil where the "I am" takes deep root. When you live in gratitude, no matter what happens, your vibration is unshaken. Life begins to flow like an abundant river, always bringing more than you need. And remember, transforming "I am" into a lifestyle doesn't mean ignoring problems, but facing each challenge with a declaration of power. When something negative arises, instead of giving in to fear, declare, "I am greater than this." This attitude changes everything. You stop being a victim of circumstances and assume the role of a conscious creator of your reality. In the next part, I'll show you what happens when you live years aligned with the "I am," and how it can not only change your individual life, but impact future generations. When you decide to live daily in the power of "I am," something extraordinary happens. Your life stops being just about personal achievements and becomes a legacy. The words you repeat shape not only your destiny, but also that of those around you. Imagine a child who grows up hearing their parents complain, "I'm poor, I'm unlucky, I'm tired." Naturally, this child inherits the same vibration and reproduces the same pattern of scarcity. Now imagine another child who grows up in a home where every day their parents declare, "I am prosperous, I am healthy, I am loved." This child grows up believing that abundance is natural, and their life reflects exactly that. Therefore, each time you consciously declare, "I am," you are sowing seeds not only for yourself, but also for your children, grandchildren, and even those yet to come. The vibrational field you create today can pave the way for future generations. There are stories of families who, after changing their way of speaking and thinking, broke cycles of poverty and suffering that had dragged on for decades. A simple shift in consciousness generated an impact that spanned time. This shows that the "I am" is much more than a personal practice. It is a spiritual inheritance. And here's an important point. Abundance isn't limited to the money you accumulate. The greatest wealth you can leave behind is the awareness that we are creators of our reality. If you teach someone to use the "I am" principle, you're handing them a key that opens any door. In the future, when someone in your family faces a challenge, they'll remember what you experienced and declared. And instead of giving in to fear, they'll repeat, "I am strong, I am capable, I am victorious." This will be the seed you planted. Therefore, never underestimate the power of your words today. They may be shaping not only your story, but also the story of many who will come after you. And now we've reached the final point of our journey. In the next part, I'll bring you the conclusion, where we'll gather everything we've learned and make a final declaration together, sealing this ancient secret within you forever. We've reached the end of this journey. Now you know that the ancient secret that has spanned generations is summed up in two simple yet infinitely powerful words, "I am." They are not just a phrase, but a decree, a spiritual password, a frequency that connects you to the infinite source of creation. Remember what we learned together. When you declare "I am," you are defining your identity, not as a victim of circumstances, but as a conscious creator of your reality. What you attach to these words will become your life experience. If it is scarcity, you will reap scarcity. But if it is abundance, prosperity, health, and love, that will be the harvest that will flourish. It's time to put all this into practice. Take a deep breath right now, close your eyes if you can, and declare with me in a firm voice, I am abundant. I am prosperous. I am healthy. I am loved. I am grateful, for I have already received. Feel each statement as if it were a seed of light planted in your soul. Imagine that from today on, every step you take will be guided by this energy. May invisible doors open, opportunities arise, and abundance manifest in all areas of your life. But remember, the key is consistency. It's not enough to practice today and forget tomorrow. Make I am your lifestyle. Declare it in moments of joy, but also in moments of difficulty. This way, you'll be shielded from doubt and always connected to abundance. And now, I leave you with a question to reflect on and share in the comments. What will be your new I am declaration from today on? Write and manifest this decree, because each written word is another seed that germinates in the universe. If this video touched you, like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Help others discover this ancient secret. Because when more people live in the power of I am, more abundance spreads throughout the world. Never forget, the universe responds to what you declare, and if you've already decided, then declare it firmly, like an eternal promise. I am abundance in motion.